it's not like
Never weird.
Straight cold open, just kind of do something here.
And I'm sitting here thinking, I want things a little darker.
There we go.
Dark like my soul. Not that I'm being anything but an angel, right?
Well, like I said, last night I did one, friend Bro showed up on it. It was just insane. Kept breaking out an intended Robert F. Kennedy Jr. impression. I need to work on one. It'd be a tough one to do proper though, because
I don't care, and I really don't want to talk about that.
No.
Your mouth has this weird switch where I can't shut it off easily. How you doing, Steph?
Hey. Yeah. Come to find out that this gluten-free pasta I've been trying.
Oh, it still got carbs in it. It just doesn't have the gluten in it.
I've been trying to tell you gluten-free does not mean low carb. In fact, it often means added sugars.
Yeah. I was trying to make there. Gluten-free is not what you're after here.
No, it's not gluten isn't the problem. Sugar and carb is.
Okay.
I know you're trying, but I really feel like I want to just sit there and throw away 90% of your food and teach you how to cook. Sorry, I don't say that maliciously.
Yeah.
I may seem like a bitch, but I'm not.
Searching the internet trying to make sure what could this is one of the parts that's warped here. This is the other one. This one especially very bad bend. This one could possibly correct, but managed to get a hold of Revell in Germany. I need a couple replacement parts here. Might have to pay shipping, but otherwise, just gotta go through the process.
I think you're all crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm perfectly sweet, innocent, and sane.
Mm-hmm.
You have no room to laugh at me for that one, Steph. I mean, can it get more pot to kettle if you laugh at me for that?
Reminder, your therapist meeting tomorrow.
I can't criticize her for therapy considering how many times I've needed in my life.
Oh, yeah, I know, yeah.
How are the little shits?
Little shits. You just explained it.
It's right there in the question. Yeah, we're gonna keep the itty bitty parts.
They're evil. They cause problems, and they get in the way.
I'm not going to do any.
Why do you think I was sharing comics about how evil cats are?
Yeah.
No.
I showed that one to my husband, and now he's walking around calling the cats death blades. I was like, thanks. I mean, not wrong, but thanks, right?
And at least one of the three likes some boobs.
You've got to get over that.
I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah, but it brings into question your proclivities there.
You're a little obsessed. You tell him to shut up, and I'm saying the same thing, and you don't tell me to. What does that mean?
She's afraid of you.
Well, she should be. I'm scary, bitch.
Mm-hmm. Is that picture I sent you on Instagram?
I don't remember which.
Something that came across. That's the way it goes in there. This might also be a bit warped, but I don't think so.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah, this one's a bit on the work
Place
side
the
too,
bitch.
but I can work on that, yeah. This one I can fix now.
All I know is I'm kind of in a mood lately.
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to do a more serious friends. Would you stop sounding like a herd of fucking elephants?
Sorry.
Holy shit.
You're making too much noise, honey.
Not terribly loud on this side, but go ahead for a bit.
So, but I am sick still. I've really had kind of a rough week. So I was like, I can't do a more serious stream where I'm actually trying to help promote somebody in this state. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I had to torture a gnome and a wanker today.
What'd the gnome do now?
Nothing. He just had to be tortured. I'm trying to figure out how that means he did anything. When have I ever waited for him to earn it?
He was there. That's all I needed. Why do you torture a gnome? Because it's there. Well, this is going to take some finagling too, but this is manageable.
He sent a good night message, and I was tired and crabby and couldn't sleep, so I said, I want attention. So he signed in for a few minutes to let me pick on him. That's how it works.
So yeah, this ship looks fine in CGI. If you try to do a physical model of it, things don't work quite well, do they, JJ? You son of a bitch!
Would you not yell in my fucking ears before I gut your fucking face? Steph?
Yeah?
If he keeps it up, you're going to end up in serious trouble with having a husband. So I'm going to have to come over there and knock some sense into his head.
Bob?
Shut up.
Yeah, that's it.
That's exactly what you need to do, honey.
Yeah, shut up.
You're the one giving me a migraine, Bob.
Yeah.
Oy,
That
Jimbo.
later there.
For my sake, would you put that away for now? Yeah, that's making you very loud and very crabby.
I am putting it aside.
Thank you. Like, you're getting very, very loud and very crabby, and it's like, I can't.
Okay.
Give him a minute to get his bearings and understand that I'm just crazier than everybody.
Not sure where the directions are for that stupid kit, but I do have a PDF downloaded. Problem is, it's in German. But
to everybody who thinks, oh, you're such a bitch to your friends, it's not just my friends. My main ticket, my mother is crazy old bitch. And then she smiles and says she earned it.
Or blames you for it. One of the two.
No, usually it's either I earned that title or spoken from the crazy young bitch.
Yeah.
It's like, Mom, I'm not that young. She doesn't like when I remind her that her youngest child is in her 40s with lots of gray hair. That seems to really bother her. Which is why I do it often. Sorry, is that horrible? That's a little horrible, right?
Yeah.
But I love my mother, even if she's a crazy old bitch. So I had some notifications and decided to go back over and check the video from Drew. And while I was responding to the people that were commenting to me, I had to deal with a few idiots and things they were saying. A, now the people that want to fake claim him are there now. And B, I gotta love when people try to explain medical conditions to the people who actually have them. But also, apparently, that the act is now they're trying to literally claim that he's completely fake because he's not with the same girl he was with when he was on AGT 10 years ago. It's like, but he said she loved him so much and she was working multiple jobs to help him. It's like, that doesn't mean it'll last. Relationships don't always last no matter how much you love each other. That doesn't prove anything.
Yeah.
People are fucking weird, man.
Mm-hmm.
They obsess over the most minute details of anybody else's life and then think that gives them carte blanche to judge what that person's actually doing and how they're living.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking wild. It's like, got news for you. If you talked to me back then, that doesn't prove anything. It doesn't prove she was a good person. Do you know what love bombing is?
Yeah.
Again, and I'm not going to say she wasn't. And she very well could have been, and it just didn't work out. People are fucking off. Wild. Like, life is not that simple. It'd be nice if you could just go, oh, this person cares about me, so we'll be together forever. But relationships take a lot of work, and most young couples don't last. And when he was on that show, they were a young couple in their 20s. Get over it.
Next thing you know, go down to the tattoo parlor to cover up that that your name tattooed on your arm for no. Whoops.
I have seen so many couples that do the most crazy shit to support and to take care of each other, and then just absolutely flip on each other when it becomes convenient.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's kind of normal in that age bracket.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, yes, I like to talk about the fact that I dated the douche patrol, but there were some decent guys that just kind of got quick broom too because I didn't want to deal with them.
So what did Johnny Depp cover up that Winona Forever tattoo with?
And that one nowhere near the kind of crap he went through recently.
Mm-hmm.
That one was more that they just didn't work.
Yeah. As
opposed to the Psycho.
I mean, she was a character witness in that trial. No, had nothing. This is not him. No, it's just you did not plant that turd there.
See, that's the thing is, when your exes will even sit there and go, no, that's bullshit. Don't attack this person. Again, I'm not a fan of his.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been a fan of his. In fact, how often have I bitched about his acting and the stuff he makes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to call out what was clearly done to him. Hey, Daniel.
Oh, someone finally shows up. You have to wonder there.
I'm not too worried. I realize the algorithms hate me, so I just freaking roll with it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And, I know people go, well, that's just people's excuse if they're not getting the followers. It's like, I have so many people message me all the bloody time that they want to be at my streams, but they never get notification. And even though they have it set on notify. I have so many people message me that they will have it show up in their recommended feed for you co-streaming with me, even though they don't follow you, before it will show up in the notifications and the subscriptions that I'm streaming. Do you know how weird that is?
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, shadow banning is a thing, people.
Oh, I was telling Bob the other night that
you're a bitch.
I figured out who Jimmy Carr reminds me of when he starts laughing.
Bitch. Apparently, Tiki loves you tonight, Steph.
One of the voices in The Simpsons is finally calling it quits after 35 years.
Who?
Pamela Hayden.
exactly which characters she voices.
Apparently does Millhouse and some others.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like, I knew it was one of the main cast, but it's not the ones
Mhm.
everyone usually thinks
Yeah.
of. I still have to play Forget Paris for you, especially
Yeah.
since
Mhm.
one of the actors in the group, as they're talking
Mhm.
and telling the story of what's going on,
Mhm.
is Julie Carvener.
Yeah.
She's a funny looking woman. She's got a very witch nose.
Well, I remember back when she was on Rhoda.
Yeah, and I've always thought she was a funny looking woman.
Yeah.
And that's nothing against her. I think she's a
Yeah.
brilliant actress in a lot of ways, and I think she's actually, from what I can tell, even though I don't like her politics, a sweet person.
Yeah.
But she's still a funny looking woman.
Like
And it's not.
her and Yardley Smith, it's like they really can't do voices, okay? Just do themselves. Okay.
Yardley Smith is a very weird looking woman.
Yeah, he's a
Very tiny woman too.
Yeah, she's a little munchkin.
See, again, June Foray was absolutely tiny, and you know what? I still say that is one case that's a clear display of the bias towards male actors over female. Why was it that Blanks was made such a big deal of? Everyone talked constantly about when he passed away. Who talked about when she passed away? Who knew when she did? She did more voices than almost any other actor in history, maybe more than.
No, within the voiceover, it was definitely,
She was a lot of the voices that interacted with him back then. She worked with almost every major cartoon studio.
Yeah.
She's with multiple voices in almost every big cartoon show that's been.
Yeah.
And she was acting consistently from teenage to around the age of 100 when she passed away.
Yeah.
And nobody even talked about her passing away or her achievements. And it's like, this is disgraceful. The cartoon world would not have been the same without her.
No, she was.
And she deserved to get more accolades and more credit than she did.
I remember it was the broadcast school in Huntington Beach. And one of the they're working on doing kind of a Bullwinkle ad parody, that type of thing. That's one of the things that could write an ad, and they wanted to do a thing with Bullwinkle. And I had to make sure whoever you're getting for Rocky, you better get like this one gal there. Yeah, she would be great. She sounds like June Foray, but and also the editing. You need to edit. It's like no gaps. Bang, 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 bang.
I think I have an absolute adoration for how much Foray did and how long she was in the industry. She worked far longer than most of her male counterparts who were doing similar amounts of stuff. Partly because she lived longer. She survived longer doing that hard schedule and all the hard work.
Yeah.
But she worked her ass off, and she deserves so much more credit than she was given. And yeah, mad respect for that woman. She was a tiny thing.
Yeah.
She had that same kind of little tiny Jewish woman look that Dr. Ruth and them do.
Yeah.
It was just, but she's a sweetheart to people, and she was good at what she did.
Nothing about doing Rocky the Flying Squirrel. Yeah, just the American boy. It says,
She was actually very attractive in her youth.
Yeah.
She was tiny. She was under 5 foot. I know that.
Yeah.
I thought when she passed away, she was like literally a month or two shy of her 100th birthday.
Well, let's see.
Which they made the same big deal counting down the clock for Betty White that she didn't quite make it to. But nobody was doing anything for June Foray for that. I thought it was literally just shy of 2 months before her.
Yeah, she was. Her birthday was September 18th. She died July 26th.
Yeah.
It was about a month and a half shy of 100.
I think it's because there was a bias in the industry when she was working it. The men were the ones who got attention, and that was in that era. And then by the time she passed away, the females that were in the voice industry in that era really did not get the credit they deserved. That is one place where there really was a bias.
But there weren't that many female voice actors, though.
No. A lot of the female characters.
She was, the female answer to Mel Blanc.
She was a badass. She was
Mhm.
a little pistol. And yeah, she very much went natural aging. She did not try to make herself younger than she
No.
was, any of that. She
was a voice actor. Who cares what she looked like?
But I've seen the pictures and videos of her when she was young.
Yeah.
She was hot then. She never saw herself as attractive. Even in her youth, the comments that she made was she literally wanted to be a voice actress because she didn't want people looking at her.
Like her last gig was in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Died 2017.
That's usually when you know something's going to happen to a comedian or actor, is when they've been working a very long time and very suddenly stop.
And still did, Rocky, Rocky and Bullwinkle thing in 2014. And of course, Granny for the Looney Tunes stuff,
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, Mel, you can't do a grandmother. We're bringing in June. Okay.
She's one of those I actually really looked up to in a lot of ways as a kid. I thought she was a really amazing woman.
Yeah.
And I do think that if history has justice, there will be more credit to her and more respect to her memory. Because you would not have had the cartoon industry we did without her.
Madame Argentina and the Powerpuff Girls?
Yeah, I don't know that one. I never could get into them. They irritated me.
I don't remember the character. But I think so. Well, that Granny character on the Warner Brothers cartoon, she was constantly going back there. So apparently, Family Guy, they had there was a I guess some kind of Bullwinkle thing, but because she did Rocky. I guess one of those little throwaway. Boy, this is worse than the time that them.
I've still got to play some of the Fluffy Bits videos that he's been doing for you.
It's the Adventures of Rocky, Natasha, narrator's mother. Okay, yeah. Well, that was the movie, in 2000.
Which actually was one of the remakes I minded less. They at least understood the spirit of what they were remaking.
Yeah, where Agent Karen Sympathy.
I do actually have that one.
Yeah, we saw.
How about Judge Cameo?
Yeah,
as the way to name it.
Whoopee. Yeah.
I'll quote the penal code to you. Actors are above the law. It was like,
but the lines like, well, you guys lost it. No, we always been this dumb. It was always this bad. And yeah, this is exactly the level of humor they had in the show.
Even their jokes have become hackneyed and stale. No, they were always this way.
Yep.
It's like, well, it's. See, they did the Rocky and Bullwinkle remake was done really well. It understood how to bring it to the modern era and still actually keep the characters and their personalities. Whereas that train wreck they called an underdog movie was just painful.
I did an ad for an underdog movie as a joke. Again, back to broadcast goes, I don't know if I transferred the file, but I did the whole thing with the Carmina Burana, and a world.
While it didn't have everything right, I didn't actually mind the first movie they did for Inspector Gadget. It's one place where I actually will say Broderick did better. He was a lot better filling in for Inspector Gadget and Don Adams than he was for fucking filling in for Gene Wilder and producers. I mean, that's just.
They did a Boris and Natasha TV movie.
Oh, I remember that. I used to have that as a kid.
Although she played the autograph woman, and so they played a gal in line getting an autograph. So it was kind of a throwaway little cameo. Oh, hey, that's the.
I appreciate when things don't take themselves too seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at Karen's sympathy and realizing that's the same woman that was the sex pot for Coyote Ugly and the secret agent for Covert Affairs is very odd, though.
Mm.
I mean, just saying.
Mm.
It's a different world for her in that one than it was for most of her roles.
Mm-hmm. Piper Paraboo. That's the young.
And the uncensored extended version of Coyote Ugly is interesting. And for guys who think she's hot, she shows her tits in that version.
Oh, okay.
Let's just say that love scene that trailed off when she was performing for him.
Yeah, we need to see what version we have.
Several minutes.
Yeah, we need to see what version we have.
There's also a scene where the girl who plays Cammy they're doing a baseball tournament with another bar, and she gets up to bat and she's trying to get the guys to lose, so she's like stripping the excess clothes off and rubbing the bat up between her boobs and stuff. And come on, boys, show me those balls. I like the extended unrated version. It's quite a bit more in your face.
Let's see if there's still a Coyote Ugly downtown. 16th.
And I'm sure it doesn't surprise you at all that I like the more vulgar version of
it. Oh, of course. Let's see.
I saw extended version and I went, okay, I'll check that out. Bear in mind, this is one of the things I also find this a great hypocrisy. I got the extended version with all that shit in it at Walmart next to the shelf where they won't sell any CDs with adult ratings.
Did you ever see Ricky Tikki Tavi? The cartoon they did of that?
I'm not sure offhand.
Yeah, she played, did the voice of a cobra. Not the main bad one, the wife of the cobra. Yeah.
The more I talk about this, the more I'm wanting to watch the extended Coyote Ugly with you guys.
And she did some cat screeches for the Aristocats. Yeah. She was in Get Smart. Imposter 99's real voice, bus station announcer, and a doll, uncredited for that.
I liked her part in Garfield Gets a Life. She was a loser in that one, but she was a loser who kind of had this fall in and connection to John. Basically, the only reason they didn't end up together is because she was allergic to Garfield.
In the original version of Frosty the Snowman, she played Karen, some little girl.
Okay, I'm not gonna say a word to that comment in chat.
We're back into the 60s here. Oh, she did a voice on George of the Jungle, or a few voices.
George of the Jungle. I love Crazy. I love Wild. I love all that.
What year George of the Jungle? 67? Yep. I watched that one. That was a little good. Saturday mornings, ABC.
Yeah, and I will be honest. When you're a very young, budding, barely hitting teenage girl, and they release that re-release, and you see Brendan Fraser in his buff stage walking around, and you can see pretty much almost everything. They barely cover the bits in a couple of the scenes.
Yeah.
And you can even see half of his butt in a couple of the scenes. That is a sexual awakening to watch that movie as a teenage girl. That's where he sat there going, yeah. Or as her friend said, I can see why they made him king of the jungle. Like, yeah. That was a little of an awakening movie for me. Anyway.
Well, the narrator going, George looking good. George looking damn good. Okay, now we're getting into creeping into the late 50s. They got Best of Peabody, Mr. Peabody and Sherman. They say Rocket did well. He also did Sherman. She did Sherman. What the hell? Come on.
When you're looking at those websites, you don't see all the roles usually very
I'm
well.
on IMDb here, so I think it's going to the whole thing.
Well, they do tell the whole thing, but you don't always see it all from the main pages, and you have to really dig in to find it all.
Okay, going into the what? Okay, a lot of overlap here. Yeah.
I know she worked on Jetsons. She worked on all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Good old June Foray.
All right. Somebody skipped past the Jetsons. That was. Get back over Flintstones.
She also got away with something most of them didn't, which was working for rivaling studios.
Yeah.
Because back then, most people, you belonged to the studio, not the project.
Mm-hmm.
So most people, you had to stay with your studio.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how she managed to get away with the bouncing, but she did.
Well, again, there weren't many female voice actors out there. It's like you either get her or you're.
Hi Danielle.
You're gonna get a very questionable performance out of Mel. Okay, so.
Yeah, Mel was a very, very odd man.
Why am I not seeing the Jetsons here? What the hell?
I don't know. It was in her IMDb recently when I was going through some stuff.
Somehow I'm just not seeing it. Like I'm seeing the Flintstones. This was Gilligan's Island.
Let me see here.
Nice. There's a lot of overlap too. So like something like into the mid 50s and boop, then back up there. Did Nell and Dudley do right? Rawhide.
Yeah, she's listed for doing some.
I'll just go straight to it here.
I know it's not like she was a bunch of main characters, but
yeah,
I know she worked on some of it a couple times.
Okay, the Jetsons, 62 to 63, and 11 there.
She was a guest a few times on it. I knew she was. But I'm not wondering why it was so hard for you to find. Now, I will say, when they did the Jetsons movie in the 80s, that was right after the issues with losing Mel Blanc, and they weren't sure how they were going to cast everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you remember, and they had him as Mr. Spacely, but they actually barely got the voices out of him. They lost him right after.
Yeah.
And I know that there were things that they made for Jetson stuff and for promotions for Jetsons and stuff right after that, where they actually had Sherman Hemsley voice it for him. And it worked. But I forgot that part in Grace Under Fire, by the way. There's this part in the show where she gets these black neighbors move in, and she's really friendly to them and stuff, but the guy keeps everything is racist to him. Everything is racist to him. And the woman that played his wife in that was the one that was Cassidy Yates, by the way. And about halfway through this episode, as he keeps pulling out the poor persecuted black man stuff, and all you see is racist stuff, and she goes, "Oh, shut up. We're all sick and tired of your George Jefferson impersonation." Followed by Grace going, "Right on, Wheezy. Yeah."
Let's see. We had George O'Hanlon, George Jetson, Penny Singleton was Jane, Dawes Butler was Elroy. That's another one.
Yeah, I looked it up. There was a few different episodes where she did guest vocalist, which I knew she did. I knew she worked on some episodes. That's why I was surprised it didn't come up in what you saw.
Janet Waldo, Judy, Don Messick. A lot of it's like everyone. Like you got Mel Blanc, then you got a whole bunch of other ones that got a lot of work.
Like
There's Mel Blanc as Mr. Spacely for 52 episodes. Frank Welker in the 80s version.
I know Blank passed away right after they finally released a couple of those last projects he was working on, and I'm trying to remember what they officially said his last role was, because I know that in voice acting they do a lot of it at the same time for multiple roles.
Oh, Phil Hartman was in there a little bit. Peter Cullen, Dee Conn, Paul Winchell. In the 80s, I think it would have been back in the old one. Brenda Vaccaro. Rene Auberjonois did a couple episodes in the 80s. Lorenzo Music. Wink Martindale as Wink Martindale. Okay.
I do miss Lorenzo Music's voice acting.
Yeah.
I sorry, nothing against any of the people that have played Garfield since him, but it doesn't work.
There's June Foray. She did a clerk in one episode.
I searched and found a couple different characters who were listed to her, but these websites are not consistent when you're voice acting.
Yeah. Rob
I have found
Nancy Cartwright, Kenneth Mars. William Wyndham did one in the Dave Coulier.
Like, what did they officially last list as?
I mean, I think a lot of these guys, it's like, I mean, they did some work, but it's like, hey, I want to do it. They're still doing it. Jetsons, get me in there. And
Yeah, see, actually, the Jetsons movie is officially Mel Blanc's last role. They said they literally finished the voice work for it right before he passed.
Yeah. Yeah, he did some Roger Rabbit, but they didn't do all. They got a few people bring in the.
And in fact, saying that he passed away while they were finishing filming, that's why his successor Jeff Bergman, along with the replacement voice actors, filled in for parts of the role.
Yeah.
So they had multiple voices for the part in that movie because he passed away while they were finishing it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's one thing with Who Framed Roger Rabbit. They got the original voice of Betty Boop.
I love Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I mean,
Jessica's my spirit.
You talk about a love letter to old cartoons, though.
Let's be 100% clear. This is my spirit animal. And I'm sorry, that's still an impressive speed drawing with pen.
Yeah.
Oh God.
The pilot and making that movie, it's like they.
My only problem that I have with her design is that they overdid that forehead so much.
Yeah. The whole thing with Daffy and Donald couldn't be, had to be the same amount of time, and Bugs and Mickey were the same thing. It's like both had to have the same amount of screen time. Yeah.
Why do you think they put them together when they
exactly? Yeah. Especially when Mickey and with Mickey and Bugs showed up.
They're talking to each other, and I stinker and all that. It's like,
oh, I got a spare. You're not gonna like it. Come on. Okay, here's your spare.
And I stinker. I got to admit, when I first watched that movie, I watched from when I got access to TV and stuff. I watched Back to the Future stuff before I watched that, so seeing the difference in Lloyd was shocking to me as a little kid. Because my brain knew exactly who it was instantly.
Yeah.
And seeing that difference was like,
Mhm.
you know,
Oh, Judge the two. Surprised Eddie? No, not really. Only a two could come with that crazy freeway idea.
see, that's how it.
Mhm.
Fuck off. That's how it is for this.
Mhm.
This is the difference in age. Yeah, most of the people that I stream or interact with, they don't remember this shit when it was coming out in the 80s.
Mhm. Yeah.
But the stuff that came out in the 80s, I was young for this shit. I was a kid, just busy annoying the shit out of people. I mean,
Mhm.
not that I ever did that, mind you. I was a sweet and innocent angel.
Mhm.
You're supposed to sound like you believe me.
Mhm.
Steph? Hey, Chica, are you passed out?
I think she's passed out. At least she's not snoring.
Panther! Yep, she's got to be asleep.
Mhm. Oh, it's Jennifer Jason Leigh's birthday.
Who the fuck?
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Okay, I wouldn't care.
Mhm.
Remember the statement people make. You hate everything.
Still not looking that bad there, damn.
Oh, you want to head backstage and just make this a short one tonight?
Let's see. Let me look at Jennifer Jason Leigh. Here we go. Where does she find? Damn, she's 2 years older than I am. Well, that's screws up things. Yeah, she's snoring.
Let's head backstage. How about
I think so. I'll go ahead and mute her there. Yeah. Okay, so let me pull up a proper ending here. I'm gonna keep it consistent. So we'll talk at you later, folks. Yeah, look at the banner at the bottom. We're not doing this for our health. Okay, trying to get this thing.
Nah, my health already sucks.
All right. Okay, talk at you later.